All right, let's do this. Welcome to another episode of First Thoughts. I'm your host, Marsh Buice, and First Thoughts are the raw thoughts, come hot off the press. They're not edited down, and it's a must for me every single morning to write. Writing saved my life, and expressing my writing has created massive success for me. After being at some of the lowest points in my life, bankruptcy, demotion, obesity, alcoholism, didn't want to be here anymore. Tough times, but it's the expression. It's writing it and then expressing it, getting it out there. That is what has created a success. I say massive success. There's so much more. So it's great success so far and looking forward to so much more. So today's writing is about confidence. 4 ways you can get your confidence back. See, one thing that you have to understand is confidence is earned. It's not given. Grandma can't give it to you. You can't buy it on an app. You can't watch a master class and all of a sudden get confidence. Your dues are in your due. It's what you do to get the DUES. You got to pay your dues, man. And that's what's tough. The confidence can quickly slip away. And one reason why you've probably lost confidence is because confidence is earned. You stopped earning and you started coasting. You kind of relied on what happened yesterday, and you just thought it was just going to keep coming to you, that you were the blessed soul. It doesn't work that way. So if you're lacking confidence right now, I'm going to give you 4 different areas that you can identify which one of the areas, maybe a couple of areas, that you need to just look at and say, I've gotten away from this. And just work on that one block, or it could be a couple of blocks. Don't get overwhelmed with it. Work on the one block, get that thing going, and then everything else will start going. Then work on the next block if you have to. A lot of times these blocks will bleed onto one another. So where you think you may be slacking in 2.5 of the blocks, you get one right, and it kind of reaches that tipping point. It just kind of sloshes over. See, everything bleeds. When you have great things going, it seems to bleed onto all other areas of your life. But then when you have bad things going too, that kind of bleeds also. And so a quick way to get things, or a way to get things, not always quickly, but a way to start getting that ball rolling again, you've just lost that momentum. And you got to look at, okay, where did it slip? What are some areas that I've kind of taken my eye off the ball on? And I started coasting a little bit. All right? So let's go through each one of these, see which one you can identify with. The first way to earn your confidence back is take stock in what you're good at. Don't wish that you had someone else's good atness. You're really good at some things. But so many times it's like, I have 3 dogs, and they all like eating out of each other's bowl. It's the same food in all the bowls, but one dog likes to eat out of the other dog's bowl because he thinks he's getting something special, and he's not. He feels like it. And we do the same thing as adults. We see someone else's bowl, and we wish we had their bowl, when in fact, you got a great bowl. And what's in that bowl is what you're good at. So take stock in what you're good at. That's the first thing. When you really kind of get in the mud, that's the first thing I want you to do. What am I really good at? And, when you're looking for this, ask yourself, what do I do that I can easily explain to others? And it's frequently. So in other words, what is, how businesses have these FAQ pages? It's because they really got tired of answering everybody's same old questions. So they have an FAQ page. You're kind of that FAQ. What is the things, the frequently asked questions? What are questions that people normally ask you about? And you just rail them out. See, that's taking stock. If you don't know what you're good at, start right there. What do people frequently come and ask you about? That's a way for you to realize what you're good at. What do you get lost in the sauce about, man? That you just lose track of time. I love the creation. I could sit here all day long and create content and read great passages from books and be like, oh, yes, I can't wait to share this. I have 2,000 ideas on my voice memo app that I haven't even gotten to yet, which is why I've come out with First Thoughts, because I got to get these out. And it's not enough to just write it, because I'm going to lose them. I have notepads in this trunk down here on the floor that are full of old writings that I just never recorded. So this is why I do the First Thoughts now, is because not only do I get the writing down, but I get the writing out. I express it. It gives me some purpose. So what is the thing? Enough about me. What do you get lost in the sauce about? I could just spin here all day, and it brings you so much energy. Let me add that. What is the thing that brings you energy? Like when you do it, even though you may be frustrated or a little bit fatigued, you just feel good about it. What's frustrating to some, but smooth and easy for you? That's what you're good at. Or what's frustrating to some, and you view it as a challenge. It's hard for you too, but it's a challenge, man. You really get in there with that curiosity and you figure that thing out, where people are throwing stuff across the room. You're just multiplying in thoughts, man. You're just tinkering, and then just one by one, and they watch the magic. We talked about that yesterday, the magic unfold. See, that's the thing, man. So when you're lacking confidence, you got to give yourself sometimes a kick in the ass, and other days, man, you got to give yourself a pat on the back. And when you lack confidence, you forgot that you are a badass. You've just stopped flexing that badass muscle. So go back and look at, what are you good at? The second way to get your confidence back is training and experience. Now, training does not mean that it's a certification. It means you do the A and B. The A and B is above and beyond training. Do you have some sort of mind training that you do, not when you have to, not when the certification is due, not just to get the badge or the certificate that I can put it on the wall in my office? What are you doing to actively train your mind? There's so much out there that you don't know. Don't just recycle this old experience. Experience is very necessary. But if all you're doing is your training is old experience, it becomes garbage in, garbage out. You ever see some of those people who, especially in salespeople, you ever see salespeople who, and those of you who are in sales will probably laugh at this. It'll be more relevant. But, people that learned something a long time ago, yet they've stopped learning. And so they're really trying to explain something new to you using, old techniques, old thoughts. And it's just like, dude, you don't even know what this product does, do you? And they're just using like the back in the 80s kind of stuff. And you're like, man, you're in cassette tape land right now trying to explain something to me. It's because they're just feeding that old thing, and that's why they're just banging around in mediocrity. It's where they banging around, barely making ends meet. You got to do A and B, man. You got to go above and beyond. It's not doing what is people are asking you to do or check a box. It's like being obsessed with learning. Dude, I'm obsessed with learning. I gap learn all day long. So when I'm in the gaps, meaning that I'm in between, like I'm on my way to the gym, or I'm getting my lunch prepared, or I'm emptying the dishwasher, dude, I'm feeding myself, not, bullshit-ass TV, man. I have times that I do that after I've earned it, but like all in the mornings and stuff, man, it's prime real estate right now. I have the Headway app and the Blinkist app. I downloaded both of them. I bought both of them because they're 15-minute chunks of knowledge. They're primers for me to, sometimes I can snag something instantly and use, or sometimes they're primers that create this curiosity in me to check out the book in its fullest form. Or I've even checked out the book through the library and read a couple of those chapters, but I know which chapters now to go to because the Blinkist and the Headway app kind of distilled all that down for me. Because you're only going to remember 10, 20% of a book anyway. So why not use those primers? I've just learned along the way. I love a good long book, and I'll go through them from time to time. But in today's compressed society, I got to find out ways that I could still learn, but in the most efficient way possible. So training and experience are one reason why you lack confidence. You've stopped training, okay? You call it reading if you want to, but if you don't like that word, call it training. Also, the experience. You need experience, and you need repeated experience and reapplied experience. The experience is not enough. It's the thousands and thousands of experiences that you keep layering in, and this is what I call amplified experience. So what you're doing is you're feeding this thing. It's kind of like AI, man, with these language learning models. What they've done is they've fed information into AI. But the more information now that gets fed into it, it gets smarter and smarter and smarter. That's why you hear everybody saying the bots are going to take over. It's because they continue to learn upon themselves. And so the initial thing that was fed into them, because other things similar to that keep getting fed in and they keep having to refine those thoughts, it gets smarter. That's what experience is for you. You keep feeding that thing in. It's a language learning model. It really is. You're just the human AI. And so, I guess it wouldn't be called AI, but anyway, but you keep feeding that thing in, man, it gets sharper and sharper and sharper. All right? Third way to get your confidence back, man. Remember, confidence is earned. It's not given. Third way to get confidence back. Confidence comes from doing hard shit and dealing with hard and challenging times. You got to do hard shit, man. There's no way around it. You have to. And this is why I make productive confrontation. It's one of the 5 skills that are necessary in mental toughness daily and practicing mental toughness every single day that I talk about on the Marsh Buice podcast. It's communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, productive confrontation. Productive confrontation is so key. And this is why you do hard shit. Dude, just, I don't know what it was, last Wednesday or Thursday, I just had one of those, I screwed up everything. It was just one of those days, but it wasn't just that day. It was because I wasn't as focused as I should have been probably in the weeks leading up to that day, and it all came to a head that day. It wasn't that day. And I quickly noticed that. I'm like, bro, you've got some momentum slippage here. You're making some careless mistakes that you don't normally make. You haven't been taking as many reps as you should have. And so I quickly was able to spot those things. But also there were some things that I had to confront. Instead of just seeing if it would go away, I made myself, I'm like, dude, you're on the mic every single day talking about productive confrontation. Go confront. Because I know if I don't confront it right then and there, it becomes easier. It's like skipping class in college. You miss one class, you're like, and then you realize that you got away with it. And then it gets easier. The more you skip things, same thing with eating bad. You start eating bad, you make an exception, you have a cheat day, you blow it out, and then the next day you have another cheat day, and you're like, well, I'll just double up. That's what happens. You blow it out the first day, then the next day, you come back again. Now you've got those cravings again for eating bad, so then they move over to the double up days. Oh, I'll just double up tomorrow. And then something comes up at work, so, well, I'll just hit it hard the last 3 days, and then you're short on time, and so the day number 1, that is for the next 3 days, I'm just going to go powerhouse mode. Well, you don't have enough time to do that anyway, so you just get a normal workout. But see, that baseline is starting to move to the left, and then you still have those cravings. You didn't cauterize it. So my point to it all is these, when you start making these exceptions with an E, when you start making these exceptions, this is when you begin to accept less in your life. So do hard shit. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes doing hard shit, but they do it anyway. You got to do it. Is it ideal? No. but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to continue to flex that confrontational muscle, flex those communication skills, the curiosity, the creativity, and be able to navigate with doing hard things. So that way, when other hard things come, you've already been training in that mode. So many people are flat-footed when it comes to doing hard shit. They wait till hard things come in their life, and because they haven't been training on that every single day, that's why I make productive confrontation. The times you can confront productively is part of your training. The reason why I say that is so they're microscopic little training sessions, and they're very, very minor. But if you keep the minors minor, they'll never become majors. Remember that. All right? So it's doing those things. It's subjecting yourself to the hard things over and over and over again. See, taking the easy path makes life hard, but choosing hard makes life easier because it's more manageable, because you're trained up for it. All right, fourth way, we're going to get out of here, of getting your confidence back. Remember, just go through which of these 4 blocks are just not really working for you. Work on that one block. The fourth way, let's bring this thing home. It's sharing what you know. Sharing what you know. That's how you get your confidence back. See, you're constipated because you're holding your badassery in. You think that you're not badass enough. You think that you're not an expert. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody's an expert at something. All right? And you're an expert if you've brought results in your own life, not theoretically. I've met a lot of theoretic kind of guys that were technically perfect but couldn't sell. They could teach it, they couldn't do it. But I'm talking about doing it. And because you do hard shit, you might want to start there. But as you do, if you've brought results in your life and you've been in some tough situations, dude, share that. If you've been in some struggles and you've come out the other side, man, share that. I may not be in the same situation you're in, but I'd appreciate to know that I'm not the only one. That's what happens. I mean, when you're going through bad things, don't you feel like you're the only one? Don't you feel like your situation is unique? And so being able to come across something that you post and you share this with me, I'm like, oh, good. And I'm not face to face. You're 1,000 miles away from me. But I'm in my own domain and I'm sitting there and I'm eating, feeling sorry for myself, and I come across your post. And I'm like, oh, him too. So I'm not the only one. So you can make it. Yeah. That's why sharing what you know, man, the adversity, the strengths, the struggles. Don't just show the highlight reels. Be vulnerable enough to show your low light reels too. You know, I talk about that. When I first started the Marsh Buice podcast in 2017, I said, if I'm going to get on this mic, it's going to be stars and scars. I'll share the high points. I'll share, some lessons, some good things, but I'm also going to share the scars that I'm a piece of shit in training at times. I'm trying to get it right too. I screw it up. I've been bottomed out in life, but I want you to walk with me and watch this. And so it's a way of holding myself accountable. And then also, man, I get the accountability factor that, hey, I got to live up to it. So sharing what you know. Sharing what you know, man, this is where you become a selfish benefactor, because when you share your expertise, this is what's going to deepen your knowledge. Because you share it, you get to learn it again, man. You're repeating it again. So it's going to deepen your knowledge base. It may be something that the person that you're sharing with, they give you some feedback, and you've got to learn on top of because you never thought about that before. And then that's what deepens your knowledge as well. It's going to sharpen your thinking. You're going to think clearer. You're going to think better. See, we got a thinking problem in our lives. If you go to my X account, Twitter, you'll see right there my cover art says "Think big." We don't do enough thinking, and we don't think big enough. Think big. This is why I write. Writing helps me think. Okay. But sharing what you know helps you think. because you got to think these things through. All right, so it's going to sharpen your thinking. You're going to think clearer, think quicker. It's going to strengthen your communication skills. See all these benefits that you get from sharing? It's just a byproduct, man. And it also continues to flex and strengthen that creativity and curiosity muscle. And this is what keeps you evolving, keeps you growing. As things change, you're taking some of that older experience that you've had, and you're bringing in new knowledge, new people that you're sharing that with, so their circumstances are different. And you see, you're folding all this in, man, and you deepen your knowledge, you think quicker, you think clearer, you're evolving, you're curious, you're creative, all these kind of different things. What a benefit that is. So check this out, man. What areas are you lacking confidence? If your dauber's a little low right now, you feel like things aren't coming together for you quite. All right, just check your confidence. Which area? You stopped earning. You're not an earner anymore. So it's not a results. The results is just what they are. The results are going to be when they get there. And you can't decide the ultimate result. You got no control over that, but you can heavily influence it. And the only way that you're going to influence, the only way that you're going to maximize your life, you got to have confidence. Ain't nobody that is not confident. There are no highly successful, unconfident people out there. It's the confidence. It's in the face of adversity. When people tell them they're fucking crazy, they do it anyway. All right? When it all looks lost, they come back at it again. How do they do that? Confidence. It's one of these 4 areas, and they understand, man, it's an iteration, man. It's an evolving thing that they just keep going. It's a revolving door, dude. And then once you get it going, you got to keep it going. And just because you got it going and you're doing everything perfect, sometimes it goes horribly bad. Look, let me tell you something. You have achieved massive results and success on things that you shouldn't have. Okay? You didn't earn them. It just came to you anyway. But then there are other times where you do everything perfectly and things don't come together for you either. Well, if you don't get mad at the times that you achieve success, yet you shortchanged it, you didn't bring your all, but you got a great benefit out of it. If you didn't bitch then, so don't bitch now. So it all works itself out where you keep coming back at it. All right, if you want more content like this, jump over to Marsh Buice Podcast. These are first thoughts before they're edited down. Some of these may make the Marsh Buice Podcast. Other times they may not. But expressing through daily expression is what's key for me. So this is what gets this is my sharing part of it. And I need more than just a weekly episode to be able to do that. So jump over to the Marsh Buice Podcast. I urge you to check that out. And if you're coming over from the Marsh Buice Podcast, thanks for rocking out and getting more content. All right. Remember, keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle, stay tough. Peace.